Just make sure. 24/7 U.S.-based customer service. All the money. For my sake. Say my ass. I made this run around. Testify.
Yo, what it do, man? You live at MBR Studios. We here with Money Talks podcast, man. What's going on tonight? Yo, man, we're gonna touch on my Lakers, man. They raggedy ass. We got a play-in tournament. This is terrible, man. To all y'all LeBron fans, listen, man. We got to get it done, man. Ain't nothing else to talk about. I don't want to hear nothing about the GOAT, all that, none of that. We got to get it done, man. Flat out. You know what I mean? We're the best franchise in basketball. Everybody's anybody's top 5 is the Lakers, so everybody talking about number one. All the top, anywhere you put a top 5, it's a Laker. All right? You know what I'm saying? That's why homie had to come to the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So, it's Lakers. That's all that matter to me. But yeah, man, you know, we got the Pelicans tomorrow night. We win that game, we play Denver. I don't know, man. You know, every year in any professional sports, the teams change. So, you know, they got some of the players that was on their team last year. But not everybody was on that team was there last year. So, it might not be, they're not the same team. All right? So, they still got their core pieces. And that's a problem. We lose, we get the winner out of Golden State and sack. Honestly, I would rather take sack or Golden State. Just to avoid them in the first round. I mean, it's about being smart. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't with just going on that joint and just losing, man. I don't know about that. But with the situation being that it is, we got a better shot, I think, in the first round. But it's two sides of this coin, and I'm gonna tell you, we got a better shot in the first round with Golden State and Shaq. But if we beat Denver in the first round, we coming out the West. That's the only thing. If we get Denver, we win tomorrow. We beat Denver. We coming out the West for sure. Because I know how LeBron plays. If he played these little dudes, which is, I ain't gonna call them little dudes, but they young, OKC, he gonna rough them off. That's his lingo. If you young, he gonna rough you off. We gonna get the calls, and he gonna rough you off. But he can't rough off Dallas like that. I mean, Denver like that because they just won the ship. They ain't about to let that go. So we're gonna have to fight them up. But if we beat them in the 7-game series, we coming out the West. For sure. For sure. We coming out the West. And I ain't scared of nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because as the playoffs go, you get stronger, especially in basketball. So they just better be ready in playoff mode. You know. The White Mamba, that's what I call it. They call him AR, I call him the White Mamba because he ain't scared. He ain't the Mamba. But it's two, if you do your research, it's a black one and it's a white one. I'm just happy we got them both. But it's a white one and it's a black one. Google it. Yeah. Yeah. You know I've done my research. So it's a white Mamba and it's a black one. Okay? So if we can get him at least 28 to 29 in these playoffs a game, we gonna win it. They need to feature him. Run it through him and let him distribute because he ain't greedy. And they can't check him. He can't check him. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. You know, to be able to get this done. Because the Celtics are strong. And I ain't trying to, they hold 18 up. That's like Dallas winning. And I'm a Niner. They feel the same way. That's like Pittsburgh winning and I'm a Niner. That's like Niners winning and they're a Pittsburgh fan or a Dallas fan. We just can't stand that. That's just what it is. So, with the Celtics holding the 18 shit, everybody got to go. Get out of here. If the Celtics win the chip, everybody got to go. Only one stay is well, AD can't go nowhere. And the white mama go. But everybody else got to go. Because we cannot let them win this. And they strong. And year after year, they keep getting around the same area and losing. They're going to break through, bro. That's just what's going to happen. I'm just hoping they break through after us. They can do it. We just got to do it first. You know what I'm saying? So, hopefully we can get this done. Hopefully. They say AD gonna play. Jordan, that Lil Nas pushed him in the back. That was a hate foul because he was a Laker. And he got traded. And he still remember that. So he pushed AD in the back or whatever. It's part of basketball. But everybody else, if we beat the Pelicans and get Denver and beat Denver, we're going to win it. But we're going to come out the West for sure. Ain't nobody else going to beat us. He know that. He knows that. LeBron know that. If push come to shove. You know what I mean? Now, if we avoid them and end up losing to the Pelicans and we get Golden State in these kids. Now, Golden State going to be tough. Because they still got their nucleus. They three tops. With, they still strong. Waiters, Waiters, Steph, Clay, Draymond, they still tough. And they want one. So they done tasted it. Waiters got a ship, so they gonna be strong. We could get sacked though. And we might be able to get them because we're a little bigger than them. We played them last year and that's how we beat them. We were just bigger than them. And it's the same situation with them now. You know what I mean? So let's just see, you know. Hey, the first thing everybody gonna say is he the GOAT. No, listen. Any logical person to tell you in any sports, basketball, football, baseball, hockey, soccer, tennis, it goes off of wins and losses. So that's what I base it on. Wins and losses. They want to argue, oh, they got this, they got that. They want to put this. They start making new stats every year. They got a stat. Now they just keeping stats of everything. Before they didn't do that. All right? They didn't even keep stats before. Okay? At all. See, that's what's wrong with you. See, the problem is, ain't a real person on here, on this internet that really knows sports. That's going to say what everybody else is scared to say. See, I ain't got no sponsorships right now, so it doesn't matter what I say. Okay? It's about wins and losses, bro. Period. That's what it boils down to. I don't care about the scoring. I don't care about the rebounds. I don't care about the assists. It goes off of wins and losses in the last games of the season, which will be the finals. That's all that counts. All right. So all that extra stuff, y'all just that's why he keep trying to win the way different stuff because he knows it boils down to the finals, bro. How many losses you got in the last dance? And he got the most out of anybody. They're scared to talk about that. And I'm a Laker before he was there. And I'm a Laker now. And I'm going to just say the facts. He got the most losses out of anybody in the finals. Period. And you can't take that off his record. The most. In the last dance, he lost the most. So what counts? That don't count? Ain't that what it's all about champions? Why ain't it? Stats is opinionated. That's an opinion. That's somebody that's keeping stats, that's their opinion. Stats don't matter. Only thing matters is what they plan for right now, and that's the ship. And how many times you lost competing for that title is what counts. And you got the most. Now, I only know a couple people, maybe two, that's undefeated in the finals. Now, y'all can take that narrative. I'm not even going to say the names. If you know sports, you know what I'm saying. Undy ain't never lost. And that's a fact. And he got a lot of accolades. They got a lot of accolades too. But never lost. See, when you compete in sports, you compete for the title. I don't lost titles in sports. So you compete for the title. Okay? That's it. That's all that matters. in any sport. All right? So you can take that and run with it and apply it to any sports you want. Football, basketball, baseball. It's about who's lost the most and who haven't lost at all. So I'm going to take the dude that's undefeated. I'm sorry. He don't know nothing about losing. I'm the best. I ain't never lost. In that dance, I ain't never lost. So I'm going to take the motherfuckers that's undefeated. Or any accolades, any stats, all that. I'm taking the motherfucker that came home every time with that ring. He the baddest. Every time he won. I don't want to, ain't nothing to talk about. That's the part people are missing in sports. Is that the wins and losses. You don't get judged in college without wins and losses. You don't get judged in the NFL without wins and losses. You don't get judged in the NBA in any of the sport without wins and losses. And the team that's undefeated is always what? Number one. Why you think in college they fight so hard? Because they don't want no losses. The more losses you get, the farther out you are. Am I right or wrong? Tell me, am I wrong though? Right? Teams that you got 4 losses in college football, you ain't going. You might go to a bowl game, but you ain't going to no playoffs, right? Right? Okay then. What are we talking about? NFL, man, you got if you 7-9, you unless your division is trash, you ain't going to the play. You 6-10 or something. You ain't going to the playoffs, right? The team that has 1 or 2 losses is usually the number 1 and number 2 seeds, right? Or they start the playoffs and they undefeated. When New England was undefeated, they was the number 1 seed overall, right? When they had that undefeated season, and he lost in the bowl, right? Am I wrong? I ain't then. So what we talking about? So it's about wins and losses. What I come on here and say, we can win it. What? The title. It's about wins and losses. Stats is for you to debate. Ain't no debating the winner of the championship, bro. What the hell is it to debate? They won it. Right? In baseball, when they win a pennant, they win it, right? That's all I'm saying, man. You know, hey, it is what it is. So we gonna see what they gonna do. Hopefully we can pull it off, man. Hopefully. But there's a lot of strong teams, man, on that West. It's a lot of strong teams in the NBA right now. So, but they young. A lot of them is young. They're coming up. They're coming through. You know, the Heat is experienced on that East. Celtics experience, Milwaukee experience. They got some experienced things over there. You know, New York just won last year. They got some new experience. So we're going to see. It's going to be a real shape-up. You know what I mean? And I got my pick. I ain't going to say it yet, but I got my pick. Who I got, you know, coming out. We're going to see. I'm going to get into this clip of them talking about the season coming up. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm going to get into this. See what they talking about on my Lakers.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch.
Welcome to NBA Today, presented by American Express. I'm Malika Andrews, and whew, my goodness, I mean, it was a sprint to the finish line of the regular season. So we all have today, right, to just catch our breaths, because the play-in tournament, it is right around the corner. We got LeBron, we have Zion, Steph, De'Aaron Fox. Only 2 of those players are going to survive the play-in tournament out west. And what's waiting for them? Oh, you know, just Nikola Jokic and the defending champs with the top overall seed, SGA and the Thunder. And then in the East, of course, Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, they will meet yet again. And whoever wins that clash of former teammates, they are headed to New York for a series with the Knicks. While the loser
Cleveland.
will have
I was just about to talk about Cleveland, but I wasn't sure they got in.
We haven't
Cleveland
confirmed
got
yet
in.
whether or
They
not
strong.
his daughter is going
That's
to be
what we
independent,
should have
but
went and got. We should have went and got that boy. I don't know how he ended up in Cleveland.
So
We made the Lakers. We made
matchups, though, that we
splashes.
actually know for sure. After really an effort that can only be described as blah yesterday by the Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell and Cleveland got the matchup that they apparently wanted against the Orlando Magic. But when you look at the 3-6, I haven't been this excited for 3-6 since Say Fly. The Suns, the Wolves, Phoenix playing the best basketball of their season. And then you have a showdown of the newest rivalry in the league, the Bucks, the Pacers. We all remember Ballgate and all that happened there. And then, of course, Luka and his favorite opponent, the Clippers. But we have we have a week, right, to get to that.
That's
The play-in tournament, it is almost upon us. And we got a preview
Dallas
of
and
the
the Clippers,
8-9
they gonna
matchup
bang.
between the Lakers and the Pelicans on
I think they
Sunday.
can beat the
Ramona
Clippers,
Shelburne,
though.
help me break this down. I'm not sure if these are jammies or if something else is going on, but I do know that whatever he was locked in. LeBron James dishing out assists at career levels in the first half.
He was looking for Anthony Davis. He was looking to exploit their advantage in the paint, and he did that. 13 assists in the first half.
13 assists in the first half for LeBron James, dishing it out to Rui Hachimura there, who throws it down. The Lakers, they just took control of this early. LeBron James, the general of the offense here, 13 assists in the first half, by the way. That's a most for him and a half in his career. There's not many firsts for the King to achieve at this point, and yet still in the most important moments he is. Going ahead to the third quarter here, Zion Williamson, he really struggled in this game, getting stripped there. And then once again here, LeBron James on him, really saying, you know what, young fella, I know you have all the talent in the world, but let me just remind you, Ramona, how this is done. He was 1 of 7 from the field, had 2 turnovers when LeBron James was his primary
That was
defender.
just a veteran defense right there, where LeBron gets in front of him, knows Zion's going to try to throw his shoulder at him, and LeBron pulls the chair out.
This was momentarily concerning, though, Ramona, when Anthony Davis goes to the scorer's table saying that you can see saying his back is hurting. He went to the ground. He came back up. After the game, Darvin Ham said, you know what, they just think it was a spasm and he's going to be good to go. LeBron James putting the icing on this one. Let's take a listen to him afterwards.
I do like the way we played today. Good test for us. Good regular season for us, even throughout everything that's went on throughout this whole season. Plus the end of season, 12 games over 500, 13 if you count the championship and in-season tournament. I mean, it's everything we went through is a pretty good season.
So the Lakers get the win. That's the good news for LA fans. But here's the thing. If they win on Tuesday, their prize, it's not exactly enviable, right? They have a hot date with the defending champion Nuggets in the first round. And for all the people saying, they should lose, throw it. Greeny, my friend, I'm looking at you. We saw Get Up this morning. All right, bet, I hear you, but pick your poison, right? Sabonis and the Kings, which I don't need to remind LA fans, AD has never beat Sabonis in his career, or the Warriors, who just got historically hot from 3, playing some of the best basketball of their season against Los Angeles, right? And they won in their last meeting in Crypto.com Arena. So joining Ramona Shelburne and I in studio, Austin Rivers, Kendrick Perkins, beaming in from their respective homes. Now that you see the Lakers' path, Perk, how do you feel about it now?
Look, did the Lakers get a great win? Did they get a good win last night? Yes, they did. But was it a great win? Because the mission is not complete. They're still in the play-in tournament. And I understand, right? We do want to see LeBron James. We do want to see Anthony Davis. It will be good for the NBA and the fan base. But at the end of the day, guess who's still at home? New Orleans Pelicans, who is in a great position. They're going to come out and be a better team. Was LeBron James exceptional yesterday? Hell yeah, he was in playoff Bron mode. We saw him doing his best version of Magic Johnson, 13 dimes, in the first half. We saw him take over in the second half scoring-wise. Anthony Davis was a monster. It's not complete. And the Pelicans are going to be a far better team tomorrow at home, which is going to be a playoff atmosphere, and they're going to play better.
Right, and that's why this question, Austin, it seems asinine, frankly, to me, that there are folks that are saying the Lakers, they have a better chance if they're 8th and they play OKC. But, I mean, is it a real thing? It's something that people are saying. How do you feel about that?
Well, I would have to agree. They match up better with OKC. When we talk about OKC, they don't really have size, especially down low. When we're talking in their front court.
You think they
and that's
should?
where Lakers' strength is.
You think they should? You think
I'm not saying they should lose on purpose.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm not saying you don't ever lose on purpose. You don't ever lose on purpose. I'm just saying it would fall in their benefit if they were to lose tomorrow and then end up playing in that 9th, 10th game, and then playing what's that? Who they play?
They would play.
That would be much better.
If they have the Thunder as their first round, then they'd either play Thunder or the Warriors have to get through that.
And by the way, yeah, you don't lose on purpose because they don't match up that well with Sacramento anyway. I'm just saying they have no chance versus Denver. They have no chance of winning a series versus Denver. They at least have some type of chance with their experience and with LeBron James and Anthony Davis and the size that they have and the team that they have. They could make a run similar to last year. If they play a team like OKC, they have a better chance. They got 0 versus Denver. But listen, man, you don't lose games on purpose. They got their hands full tomorrow night. And we all know, Park talks about it, New Orleans is a long, athletic team. They're going to challenge the Lakers. And then, listen, Sacramento, Sabonis, those guys have had the most success versus the Lakers. Sabonis has owned the AD matchup. And De'Aaron Fox, it's his playground every time he plays the Lakers. He's out there doing whatever he wants. So the Lakers got a tough road ahead, for sure.
Austin, you are dressed very well today, but right now you are being too cute, okay? You don't mess with the basketball gods. You don't even utter the thought.
Oh, no.
That
I'm
maybe
saying that.
I'm
not saying you lose on purpose.
Because you don't try to lose, but don't even think it.
I'm just – I hear you.
Well, okay, look, I called Darvingham this morning, okay? Because I know, listen, I'm driving in on LA radio, and that's exactly what everyone in LA is talking about on Sports Talk Radio. Should they throw the game? Should they maybe wink, or if it happens, it happens? No. You don't mess with the basketball gods. I called Darvingham this morning, the Laker coach, and said, hey, this is what everyone's talking. He goes, absolutely not. We are not messing around. There is no chance that we're even talking about that.
Right.
And Anthony Davis is fine. LeBron James is fine. I think the sense that this game against the Pelicans on Sunday was not a competitive game. Like, they were up by 20 for most of the game. Some of that, you look at that and say, okay, well, they've had their number. They beat them 3 times this season. They beat them in the play-in tournament. So it's a good matchup for the Lakers and the Pelicans. But the Pelicans just had 2 great wins in Sacramento and in Golden State. They had some mechanical issues on their plane, from what I hear, and they didn't get into New Orleans until really late. That looked like a team that was absolutely spent in the last couple of games before they got to New Orleans. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but don't take Sunday as a barometer for what's going to happen in a play-in.
Because the previous 3 times the Lakers beat them, they haven't won by less than 15 points.
I mean, that is a very good point, Malika.
And I'm not saying that this is a shoe-in for the Los Angeles Lakers, by the way. As you mentioned, Zion Williamson, I fully expect, because when we saw him in the in-season tournament, he didn't have his best game. Last night, the most important game of the regular season, he really struggled. This is a game for him to get back. And whoever loses that game, they will have one more chance to play. So as excited as I am to see the Lakers and the Pelicans game and see how all that unfolds, there's nothing, right, that beats the stakes of a single elimination game that we are going to get between the Warriors and the Kings. So remember, Golden State is heading into tomorrow night's game. They are red hot. They've won 10 of their last 12 games. Kings, they're going to be looking for a little revenge after Steph sent them home with a 50-piece in Game 7 in last year's first round. So if their season series is any indication, really expect a close game on Tuesday. The Warriors and Kings, they split their 4 games against each other, and the last 3 were decided by 1 single point each. That is tied for the most consecutive games between teams where each game was decided by 1 point in NBA history. There's so many questions going into this. Who's going to guard Sabonis? Kevin Looney was the guy to do that last season, but it all comes down to this. Kendrick Perkins, will Steph Curry and the Dubs send the Kings packing for a 2nd straight year?
Hell yeah, they will. Hell yeah, they will. And look, it's no knock to De'Aaron Fox or Sabonis. I think both of those guys have had outstanding years right this year when you talk about them playing. But missing Malik Monk and missing Kevin is huge for the Kings on the offensive end, because we already know that they're not playing a lick of defense. And the Kings want to outscore you. And the way that the Warriors have been playing, Draymond Green has elevated his game since coming back after the ejection. We know what Steph is capable of doing. Klay Thompson has been balling out of control of late. And then you have Jonathan Kuminga, coming in off the bench. Jackson Davis, he's been
That's the
balling.
problem. If they can get
CP3,
Clay going,
he's
they're
been
gonna be
coming up in
tough.
some moments. This Golden State Warriors team, they're playing, and they have a lot of veterans with a lot of experience. And when I look at a depleted Sacramento team, they don't stand a chance in hell.
I mean, to me, this is Game 7 redo. I always think that young team is real interesting to see how the Kings respond after having lost that Game 7 last year. I was sitting up there at the Golden One Center for Game 7 when Steph dropped the 50-piece on him. And De'Aaron Fox, if you remember in this, was right there with him, even though he had like a broken finger in this game. He played his butt off, but Malik Monk was great, as Perk mentioned. They're not going to have Malik Monk in this. You're not going to have Kevin Huerter in this. And so I think they are shorthanded. The bench is going to matter. They had a blueprint for how they defend Sabonis in that last series, but Kevon Looney's not starting anymore. So let's see what they do when they get in this game. It's an interesting matchup when there's just one game.
Not to mention, you look at last season, Fox and Davion Mitchell got the primary Steph assignment. You would think it would be Keegan Murray potentially this year. So all of those little tweaks, adjustments, and the Golden State Warriors, they are a better team on the road. They're 25-16 on the road this season versus last season. But I sat down with Steph and De'Aaron together at the beginning of the year, and I could see De'Aaron was still thinking about that game. He was still talking about that game. They were still having little playful jabs back and forth about the changing of the guard and whether or not that's going to happen. This single game could be that moment where we see that come to blows once again, and I cannot wait. I can't believe we're 10 minutes into our show and we still haven't talked about the number one.
Men tell us when they use Just for Men to eliminate gray, there's a great before and after. Then there's the after. That boost you get when you look and feel your best. And that's why more men choose Just for Men.
Các bạn vừa xem xong